In the grand world we know as music, there are many artists of many different shapes and sizes, many different genres, many different styles, all that jazz. But in my opinion, you can rate every artist by these three things: talent, output, and most importantly, aura. Yes, that beautiful term known as aura is what separates Michael Jackson from 6ix9ine. Unless some of you fuckers think 6ix9ine could be on the stage for 5 minutes and people pass out. With that being said, I want to take today to focus on something that I've been thinking about for a long ass time. A lot of these artists nowadays don't have aura. Like, a lot of these modern day artists just don't care about being mysterious anymore, you know? Like, their personal lives and their careers are just kind of like the same thing nowadays, and it's like, why? Like, why are we so obsessed with these artists' personal lives? It's like, they make music. Like, we can hear about their personal lives for their fucking music. That's the whole point of them making music, man. It's like, ever since social media became a huge thing, now we know every motherfucking thing about every celebrity, especially these artists. And it's like, why the fuck do I need to know all this information about who dated who and who's doing what? Like, I don't give a fuck if he's giving her back shots. All I want to hear about is when the next album is. Anyways, before I get off track, today we're going to be looking at 2 mysterious artists and 2 artists that are mysterious, and then we'll compare and contrast, and then I'll probably end the video talking about it's important to be mysterious, guys, don't put all your business on the internet, basic shit that you've already heard 1,000 fucking times. Before that though, be sure to like and subscribe. I do videos like this every week, so if you do subscribe, you can get videos like this every week. And with that out the way, let's get started. The Weeknd has to be my favorite artist of all time. I mean, that man's music literally got me through high school. I will forever be indebted to him for that. Delays aside, I feel like The Weeknd's a great example of a mysterious artist. Because back when House of Balloons came out in 2011, nobody knew what he looked like, more or less what his real name was. Like, niggas actually thought The Weeknd was a band back then. I just know they were shocked when they found out it was one guy from Canada. And even after showing his face and name to us, The Weeknd still managed to keep a high level of aura to this day. Because unlike every other artist with his level of popularity, Abel has managed to keep it about the music first and everything else second. Now, that's not to say we don't know certain things about him as a person. I mean, we know he dated Selena Gomez and Bella Hadid, and we know that he has beef with Drake, and we know about his dog and his cat. There's some things that we do know about him. But here's the thing, we only know what he tells us. Like, the bulk of what we know about Abel as a person is literally just because of his music, because he's very good at telling us what he's going through his music. Now, you can argue that he's not 100% genuine through his music and that it's mostly a persona, shit like that. But realistically, it's all coming from a real place. And I kind of like that, he lets us interpret the music how we want to. Like, we can interpret it this way or that way. Okay, we can decipher as much about his personal life as we can from the music, but at the same time, still not know a lot about him as a person. Now, I will say, in recent years, he has lost a good amount of aura. I'd rather not talk about The Idol or the movie, because honestly, I just want to forget those shits even exist. But just know that he lost a good amount of aura from both of those projects. But you know what? He's gaining it back, because that's what aura farmers do. They keep gaining aura. At his peak, I would give Abel an S tier in terms of aura farming, but as of right now, he's at A, because no matter what Abel does, no other artist can make a song like Cry For Me. It's just so fucking peak, man. Not gonna lie, I feel like it's been a long time since Quavo's been talked about in a positive light. I mean, so much shit has happened in this man's personal life in the past, 5 years. It's actually just insane to think about. With that being said, at one point, Quavo was arguably the definition of aura. I mean, he was the de facto leader of one of the best rap groups of all time. Even outside the Migos, Quavo had a lot going on for himself. I mean, he was always featured on somebody's album. He was always dropping solo music. He was dating Saweetie for a good minute. I mean, dude was genuinely on top of the world at one point, man. And look, I never saw Quavo as the most talented one of the group, that was Takeoff, and then Offset, and then Quavo. But even then, at one point, Quavo's aura was like S tier, man. But sadly, over time, personal issues seemed to derail Quavo's career. Him and Saweetie broke up, the Migos broke up, Takeoff died, RIP. And on top of that, his musical output has been mid to ass, but mostly mid. And it didn't help that he got into a rap beef for Chris Brown for a short minute and lost. I mean, that right there lost him like plus 1 million aura. Because how the fuck do you lose a rap battle to an R&B singer? Now, to be fair, Chris Brown can rap, but at the same time, he's an R&B singer first and a rapper second. So again, how the fuck are you gonna lose a rap battle to an R&B singer? I'm not gonna lie, I never saw Quavo the same way after that rap beef. I mean, the same guy that made Bad Bougie and Stir Fry is out here dropping shit like Rocket Power. What the fuck happened, dude? Like, at this point, I think Quavo just needs to explore other avenues, because music clearly isn't going well for him anymore. And even if he did fuck around and drop a good album this year, nobody would give a fuck. Like, any momentum this nigga's career had, it's just gone now, okay? Nobody nobody gives a fuck. In the past 5 fucking years, I've heard more about this nigga's personal life than his actual fucking music. That definitely says something as to how much people actually care about your musical output. I think for a long ass time, Quavo benefited from being the pretty boy of the group, so we never had to put in as much work as Takeoff or Offset did to actually stand out, because most of the time, his part on a Migos song would consist of skirt, bendo, mama, and he called it a day. So if Quavo in his prime was S tier, then we can definitely say without a doubt that current day Quavo is C tier, or D tier. I think it varies from person to person. Now, we can't sit here and talk about aura without talking about Queen Bee herself. Beyonce might be the greatest aura farmer we've seen since Michael Jackson himself. I mean, the amount of dick eating I see for everything Beyonce does is actually insane. Like, Beyonce could breathe, and y'all niggas will fucking glaze that shit talking about, oh my god, Lakeisha, Beyonce just breathed. That's an Instagram right there. Queen slay. And you know, I made a video before about how Beyonce might be a little bit overrated by people, and I stand by what I said. I feel like Beyonce gets a lot of fucking glaze just for existing at this point. With that being said, Beyonce does do a great job at keeping her music career and her personal life two separate things. Now, that's not to say we don't know about her personal life. I mean, we know about Jay-Z, we know about Solange, we know about the elevator, we know about her dad, we know about her mom, we know about her daughter, we know about you get the point. We know about Beyonce's personal life, but we don't know that much. It's the same thing with The Weeknd. We only know what she tells us. And that wasn't always the case. I mean, I feel like Beyonce at one point was very vocal about her personal life, but at some point Beyonce just stopped doing interviews altogether because people were twisting her words and making it seem like she said this to that, you know, stuff like that. And nowadays, the only thing we know about Beyonce's personal life is what we hear for the music. And for the most part, we just hear that she's very, very active with Jay-Z. And you might be asking, is it really such a bad thing that we don't know that much about Beyonce? And the answer is no, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We don't need to know Beyonce's favorite color to understand that she's an amazing artist that will never be replicated. Because like every other amazing artist out there, Beyonce lets the music speak for her. Case in point, if you want to know what Beyonce's been up to recently, play Cowboy Carter, play Renaissance, play Lemonade. Well, maybe not Lemonade, that was like 10 years ago. But play Renaissance, play Cowboy Carter, play one of her most recent songs, man, and you'll understand. Beyonce's already given us so damn much for the music that we really don't need to know about her personal life. Because at the end of the day, even if we did know everything about her, it wouldn't change anything. I mean, maybe for some people it would, but for majority of people, they still be buying all her stuff. So until Act 3 comes out, let's simply enjoy what we have from Beyonce right now instead of worrying about whatever the fuck she's doing right now. Okay, I recently saw a video on DaniLeigh, so I wanted to put her in this video. DaniLeigh was primed to be the next big thing in music at one point. You know, she had everything. She had the Chris Brown cosign, she had the dancing ability, she had the growing fan base. Everything was building up to her being the next big female artist. And then she started dating DaBaby. I kid you not, I've done the research. Everything that's derailed her career since 2018, it all stems from DaBaby. Like before she started dating DaBaby, her career was pretty fucking clean, you know? No controversies, no beefs, no nothing. Everything was solid until she started dating that nigga. And like, I get why she started dating him, you know, from a PR perspective. He was the biggest rapper at the time. She was an upcoming R&B singer. It made sense. But at some point in time, her relationship with DaBaby literally overshadowed her music career. And look, I'm not gonna act like I know about her other songs, okay? All I know from her is Easy. And that's just because Chris Brown's on it. But I guess she did have other hits as well. So she did have a music career, a budding one at that. But at the same time, her relationship with DaBaby was overshadowing that. And I'm not gonna get into details. We already know all this shit already. If you happen to not know about any of this, just watch this video. The lady does a great job at explaining everything. But I'll summarize it as this. DaniLeigh plus DaBaby plus drama equals immediate derailment of her career. And don't even get me started on that fuck ass Yellow Bone song. I don't want to fucking hear it. I hated the song when it came out. I still hate it now. It genuinely just, oh my gosh, like literally, how the fuck do you, oh my gosh, like I just even thinking about it pisses me off, man. All these things combined together just made for one big derailment milkshake. And the saddest part about it is that her career never recovered from this shit either. Yeah, we didn't forget that shit. Overall, I think DaniLeigh is a great example as to why artists still need to be mysterious. Because when it gets to the point where we know every single thing about your personal life against our will, you have a fucking problem. By the way, her aura is a F. At her peak, it was probably like a C+, but now it's F, and it's not going up. I feel like the main reason we know so much about artists nowadays is because they go out of their way to make sure we know who they are inside and out. I think some artists genuinely think that the more we know about them, the more we'll resonate with them and connect with them and want to buy their shit. And look, it's not a bad thing to be close to your audience, but at the same time, you have to have boundaries. Like if I knew every single thing about Beyonce or The Weeknd or SZA, the aura would be non-existent, I'm not gonna lie. There'd be no mystery, there'd be no intrigue, there wouldn't be an extra reason for me to want to listen to their shit. And that's really the problem I have of a lot of artists nowadays. I feel like I know everything about them without even having to listen to their fucking music. Like, realistically, if I knew less about Mariah the Scientist and her dating life, I'd probably want to listen to her music, because now I just don't. I just don't care. Why the fuck would I want to listen to her sing about Young Thug of all people? So the moral of the video is simply this: make artists mysterious again. And with that, this has been Xavier Rants coming at you with Rants. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you want to put a comment, put it in the comments section. Follow me on TikTok, I do streams on there occasionally. And everything else can be found in the link tree, link in description. Other than that, adios.